there. All right, and we are live. All right, welcome in, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Hope y'all are doing well today. We had the market dip down a good bit, but it is already back on the move, so that's good. B-Lift, Shark, hello, hello. Welcome to the stream. Welcome in. We are DLMMing a bunch of different things this morning. You can see these are all the main ones here. I also have Graphane on my other wallet. But other than that, it's the same. And Graphane's doing pretty well this morning as well. I need to go through and compound some of these, like Swarms. We've got about $250 in fees. We're earning, like Swarms is doing really, really well. We're on an 80 bin 0.8% pool, and it's been earning over 6.5%, which is amazing. We had set this up earlier, and we did a two-sided pool on it. So we're going to add back in. Just add back in on the spot. You can add back in on different other strategies as well. We're just going to add back in on the spot here with the fees that we had gotten. Perfect. Once I start getting enough fees, like on some of my pools, usually upwards of like 100, like on ARC here, I like to rebalance them back into the pool. So that way they're compounding. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hector Castillo, Bas Mehar, Girav, Surya Hafiz, Ravai. I don't know if I'm saying all these names right. We have people from all over the world. I love that we have that. So thank y'all so much for being here. I actually have two different pools. I have an ARC pool that I had set up that came all the way down here. And was like really close to the bottom. We were earning crazy fees. Like we're earning like 3.2, 5.6% on ARC, which is just like crazy, really, really good. We're doing the 100 bin 1% pool. And we had set this up on a hybrid bid-ask spot on the way down. And when everything dumped, it came all the way down really nice into the bottom part of this range. And then once it was in the bottom yesterday or last night, I set up another one going back this way. And so we're actually, as it moves up, we're going to be catching both ends of it. And I might actually at some point swap this and just put it into this other pool. But we're going to go ahead and claim some fees here and be able to roll it back in. Hello from Brazil, Token Guy. Hey, welcome. Do we have anybody from Central America? That's here. Honduras, Nicaragua, anywhere like that. That's the area that I went to whenever I did my mission trip just recently. Back in November, we did a bunch of gifts and presents and shoes and stuff like that for a small village down there. Mexico, very cool. Mexico's technically North America. But welcome, welcome. Hola. ¿Dónde estás? Anybody? My Spanish is pretty rough. I am working on it, though. I plan to travel and visit Central America more often. I want to... I want to go there more often, like 2 or 3 times a year. I went down on a mission trip down there, and I also so we got to help out this small town, and that was really cool. Also have a buddy who owns a coffee farm down there, and I love coffee, and so I got to go to the coffee farm, which was really, really cool. All right, sweet. So we're gonna do this. So instead of doing we're not gonna add in both sides, but we collected a bunch of fees on from both of these pools. And so I'm going to actually add it into this one, which is on the way up. And so I'm basically just going to add all of the ARC into it on the way up on a spot, which you won't see a big difference in the change here, but I'm going to add it in here. And then that way, as it pushes up, I mean, I see ARC going all the way back up to over 400 mil market cap, which will push into this middle kind of upper range right here. And then honestly, I see it breaking 500 as well, probably within the next few weeks to a month. I think we see a huge shift in crypto soon. So around the time of the inauguration with the current administration coming in. So, all right, let's look at some coins. So we are currently sitting on, like I said, a bunch of these. Let's see here. Honestly, all these are doing really, really well. So ARC, Swarms, LLM, Fartcoin, Whathole, all of these, like the only one that went out of range for me was Butthole, and I just basically swapped it. So whenever it came down, I was in a one-sided hybrid bid ask, and it ended up coming out of my range because it went so low. I mean, it literally dipped all the way down here. Like I got in it. Yeah, look at my buy up here. My buy was at 90 million, which was already from 134 million drawback. So when I bought here, I thought we were like sitting really good. And obviously with the market being down, everything dipped. But this was the line. This was my range here all the way down to this 43 mil, which at 90, I thought was about as far down as it would go. And then ended up going all the way down to like 28. Yeah, like 30 mil basically. And so the dev bought right here. So that's a good sign. But yeah, once it dipped all the way down here, I ended up basically I collected all the way down. And then once it worked its way back up here just slightly, I went ahead and opened up a one-sided with a pretty big range. Let me see. I ended up doing the default position here, which would be, 96%. So that's how much I added to it. And so it has the room. I entered in around 40. So it'll go all the way up to 80 mil on that one side, which obviously it's a good ways away. That's like all the way up here. But I do think that it'll make its way back up. And if I need to, I can always just close out and sell it as well. Y'all know I'm big on ARC. I bought some more ARC down here. You can see. So we're up a good bit on it. Nick K, what's up, man? Welcome in. So I want to talk a few different things. We're going to be DLMMing. Honestly, like a lot of my streams when I used to DLMM, they were like super degen in compared to like what I'm doing now. But the market shifts, you know? And so there were tons of new coins that were popping off doing really, really well. And there's just less that are doing that now. We used to be able to get into coins that were like 2 or 3 mil. And very often they would go from like 2 to 3 all the way up to like 5, 6, 7, 8, sometimes, you know, much higher. We'd catch them like at really, really high volumes and they would do well. And every now and then we will catch some of those, but they're just not as common. A lot of the ones that are coming up just end up rugging before they even make it to like 6 or 7 mil. Like you'll get in around 3 or 4 and then they'll rug at like 4.5 or something, you know? And when I say rug, it doesn't mean they literally rug, but they die, right? Like they end up dipping a lot. But you can see like whether I go to the 6-hour chart or I go to the 5-minute chart, you can see that ARC, Fartcoin, Graphane, like a lot of these big coins, LLM, obviously, like a lot of these big coins are doing really well. It looks like Pippin came out of nowhere and is on the way back up. And so a lot of these coins have really high volume, both on the 5-minute and on like the 1 hour and 6 hour and stuff like that, right? Pingu's doing pretty well right now also. But because of this, because like we used to do the 5-minute and you wouldn't see any of these. You wouldn't see ALK, LLM, Fartcoin, Pingu, Pippin, Graphane, like, ARC, I said that already. But like these are like the large cap coins that normally you wouldn't see on a 5-minute volume. You'd see them on like a 1 or a 6 hour maybe, because over time they're more consistently doing more volume, but you often wouldn't see them just like on the 5-minute volume like a month ago. But now, like they're controlling the whole chart, and you'll see like a few of them pop up, like this random one here, which is just going to end up being nothing. This holy token here may be something, I don't know, but either way, there's a bunch of stuff that's popping up, or used to be popping up that now is not. Like all of the top coins are all the larger market cap coins, and so either mid or large, right? Like Swarms isn't quite up here, but I'm sure it'd be not very far down. Butthole as well. Those are more mid-cap coins, but either way, like they're all doing really good. And so there's no point in getting into super low risk coins when you can just earn really, really well on stuff that's mid to large market cap. Like what is my, let me see real quick. Yeah, my LLM pool is earning 23% here. And I'm in a bid ask like this, right? So like I'm in a hybrid bid ask and spot strategy. So we're like at the lower point of our liquidity and we're still earning 23%. If we were in a straight spot, we'd probably be earning like 40%, but we're leaving a little bit more room for it to go up because honestly, this is like, you know, the fart coin, the whatever you want to call it. This is one of those ones that I think like just absolutely takes off. I don't know that it will, but it just has that feeling like it will. There's a lot of big money that's been rolling into it. It's kind of got that attention. It's like kind of stupid and silly enough to do it because those seem to just do really well. And so I want to kind of leave a lot of room on the upside here for the value of the TVL to go up as well as earn the fees. So that's why we have that set up like that. But all of these are earning really, really good. And honestly, if you're not too shaken up by the fact that they all dip down so much, then you just hold on to them as they dip down. You can see we got into Swarms over here, and so it's down. But like, as long as you're in range, you're collecting fees the whole time. And then when it comes back up, your fees value goes up, your TVL all comes back up. I mean, this was literally like, negative 4,000 or 5,000 yesterday. Like, okay, so this is crazy this week. So Monday, today's Thursday, right? So Monday, the market was doing really good. I think it was Monday, or was it down? Yeah, it was down. It was down. So the market was down on Monday. And I was like way down, like $4,000. And then Tuesday, I was like way, way up. And it came back just like it's doing right now. And then that was Tuesday. And then Wednesday night, again, it went down and everything dumped. And then I was down like another 4 or 5K. And then now it's ripping back up. But the thing is that in between, whenever I have those bad days, I hold. Whenever the market's down, I hold. And I just earn fees and generate. And then when it all comes back up and I'm back in profit, then I sell. And so I don't sell when I'm in a loss. So it's, even though it's like I'm at a loss, it's not a realized loss. It's just currently down. But when I'm selling at a profit, right? So my portfolio is still growing over time. And so it's important, like if the market isn't down as a whole and your coin is going down, then that's something that you should be worried about, right? Like if you're looking at Graphane here, and it's like, all right, you're in this coin and all of the market is like sitting pretty steady or like going up decently. And then you're watching this and your coin is just like going down and down. At some point, you need to close it out and sell and take the loss, right? You don't want to just like sit on stuff till it goes to zero. But when you're in like pretty solidified coins like Swarms and Graphane and ARK and Fartcoin, all these coins, and they're all dipping with Solana, then you don't like, that's not a time to like panic sell, even if it dips below where you normally wouldn't be holding. Like if it dips below it, like where I would normally just say, hey, I'm closing this out and taking a loss. Like a lot of times that's not the best time to do it unless Solana as a whole, which we can look at like the perps and stuff here to look at it. It's around 192 right now. But if it looks like Solana as a whole is going to continue to go down, 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 then maybe it would make sense to. But in general, like when we're DLMMing, we don't want to like panic sell that kind of stuff. Let me get some answer some questions. Any good ranges this morning, Chief? Hey, Poppy, what do you mean good ranges? Like on what specific coin? Are you asking about? Like you can see here, this is what I have set up. You can see my bin steps. All these are fairly default. I think some of them I might have shortened the range a little bit. But all these are fairly going to be default ranges. And then I'm either like in ARK, I have both a one-sided up and down pool. One was one-sided on the way down, and then I reversed. Swarms is two-sided. LLM is one-sided on the way up. Fartcoin is one-sided on the way up. Butthole's one-sided on the way up. So a lot of these, it just kind of depends on what the market's doing. But all these are going to be around the default range, all 80 or 100 bin steps between 0.8 and 2%. This is pretty much the sweet spot of what I do right here. Look at XLLM. Okay. This is a rug. Don't buy this. It's a farm. It's all fake. Don't buy that. All right. Good morning from Argentina. May I ask what pool you are in for Fartcoin with 200 B2 large? Hey, good morning, Riaporte. It is nice to see you. Glad that you're here. Let me see here. So if you're looking at Fartcoin, we have that pulled up here. 200 bin is going to be too much. And the reason why, let me go to create a new one. So you can see I'm in the 100 bin, which is already like fairly wide. But if I go to add a position on this, it's going to give me a 96% upside. Okay. And so if you're looking at Fartcoin, this is on the 100 bin. It's at 860 mil right now. And so it's almost doubling, right? Because it's going up. You're allowing it to go up 100%. And so you're literally 2xing at that point. So that would be a 1.7 billion market cap on Fartcoin. And if we look at the 5-minute chart on this, probably need to refresh this. You can see like even at its like really, really high peaks, it's all the way up to like 1.6 billion, right? And so right now the 100 bin will allow you to go all the way up to its all-time high, which is again pretty big from here. Whereas if you were to get into a 200 bin on Fartcoin, you're going to be way too high. This 200 bin 0.8% here, it's going to put you at 284%, which is way too high. It's almost 3x, right? Yeah, that would put you at 2.4 mil. So that's way too high. So yeah, you don't need to be in a 200 bin. I would probably put it in a 100 bin at the highest. Unless you like believe Fartcoin's going to go up to 2.4 billion and you're like setting this up to hold like really long term, like months, then maybe. But I don't think that's necessary. It's up to you though. Smelt is 4 to 5 million market cap. If it doesn't show up in the 5-minute volume, like somewhere in the top area here, then it's not one that I'm interested in DLMMing. It is fairly close. Let's take a look. It's right here. That is the right CA. Yeah, volume's okay. It's been a little spiky. What is Smelt? Why do you like it, Bass? I've been like staying away from anything below 10 million market cap. Yeah, you can see here that it's not followed by anybody that I know. It's only got 111 followers. It doesn't have like very much engagement at all. Is it based off of California dumps millions of gallons of fresh water into soup because of this little fish? Needs some good. I think it's funny that this exists. I don't think it has enough traction to be able to continue on. Like it might, but personally, it's not my favorite, so I'm not going to DLMM it. Hyper went down a lot. Yeah, impermanent loss does not exist if you don't sell. Yeah, exactly. It's just a potential loss. Big Bob Crypto, are we still in a holding pattern with Croak? No, so the Telegram was deleted yesterday. But for about 3 weeks, we posted in there. Join Big Bob. Join the Discord. I hate Telegram, so we stopped using that. But join my Discord, which you can find on Twitter under I have it under location. Just copy it. But it's discord.gg/token guy. Open a ticket for me. Croak is a meme coin that didn't make it, so we're moving on from it. Spontaneous sojourns. How did you do on Sonic launch? Was insane fees. Yeah, I did really, really good on Sonic launch. So I was able to put in 420 US dollars. The pool maxed out at 1,000 on the vault. And so 1,000%, meaning it was way over allocated, which means my 420, I only actually put in $42 and I got the rest of my USDC back. But that $42 when I woke up was worth like over $500 whenever I saw it. I then on one wallet, I did it on both wallets. I had two different ones. And so on one of them, I just set up a DLMM right away, a spot DLMM, and it did really well. I ended up making like another $500 to like $700 off of it. And then, so my $42 turned into like $1,000, which was really cool. And then on my other wallet, I actually bought more right away and set it up, and it also made a bunch. So I did really good off the Sonic. And then I ended up selling and getting out. I think it was around 2.7 billion market cap is where I sold after everything went up. I'm just readjusting my LLM pool a bit. Support levels found. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, LLM's doing really good. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. Good evening from Ukraine. Hey, welcome. Welcome from Ukraine. I know there's a lot of people from Ukraine, I feel like, that are in crypto, which is good. I met a guy from Ukraine in my town the other day. I played basketball with him. But if you like that pool, you can always drag the bins to make it smaller. Yeah, you can definitely make it smaller. If you do the 200 bin pool, you could always make it smaller. I just think you'll earn more fees on the 100 bin. Thoughts on Y&E? Been eyeing lately. Decent volume. Let's take a look. I haven't seen much on Y&E in a while. It was doing good. Yeah, volume's decent. It's obviously moving up right now. It's at 60 million market cap. So it came down to as low as 33 mil, which obviously isn't a big deal. That's when everything was dipping from 78. So it did a similar thing to the Beehole coin. Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been ranging really nicely, and it's moving up now, which is pretty good. Yeah, I mean, Y&E looks pretty good. Honestly, I'm in so much stuff that like I don't have the capacity to get into this also. On the MACD, it looks like it could be reversing a little bit to come down, but either way, like it does seem like Y&E's in a good spot, and it's got decent volume. It's at over 1 mil on the 1 hour, which is kind of what I like to see as a minimum. You can definitely get away with it being lower, but yeah, Y&E's not too bad. You could DLMM it for sure. I don't have the capacity to right now. Like right now, for me to DLMM something outside of the ones that I'm showing y'all, I would need it to just be like doing really, really well. And right now, that's just not. There's not really anything doing that. So let me see this holy token. It's yeah, this doesn't look organic at all. Look at all these snipers in here. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't get into this token either. There's a ton of them like that. Max CA, good volume. Yeah, I saw Max. I think it's on the 5 minute. Yeah, right here. Bro, I remember not that long ago seeing this thing like at like 70 or 80 mil. Yeah, over here. Yeah, I mean, this was literally just a few days ago. Max has been like being sneaky. Like, I don't see a ton of people talking about it, but like it's doing really, really well. I kind of saw like a cult forming around it, so it kind of makes sense. But yeah, I am interested in Max. Agent memes and dreams on Solana and the Ori chain. The ticker is Max. Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I need to follow them. Yeah, they're doing AI agents also. Makes sense. Meme coins launching soon on Agent Land. Wondering for Solana. The answer is let's check out their site. This is the RI DEX, which I'm not even sure what the Ori chain is. It's a layer 1 for Web3 mass adoption, decentralized AI agents, distilled AI oracles. I'll follow them as well. This looks similar to like the X token, X Combinator that I'm looking at. It looks very similar. Agent created by 12 days ago, Degenerate. project is an AI agent built Tuna. Yeah, so these haven't launched yet, but you can launch your agent. Strongbow. Yeah, this looks very similar to X Combinator Project X, which I really, really like. Max has been around a while and has been building like kind of a cult, like very slow. And so it makes sense. It's up a lot today. It'd have been nice to get in a little bit lower on it. I'm gonna keep watching Max. I do like Max. I think you could DLMM it. As far as getting in right now, it's already pumped up a lot. It looks like it's about to test this little support here or resistance here. And so you can see on the MACD that it looks like it might be making a reversal here to come back down. And so I'll wait to see what it does. There's a few of them that are kind of doing that. They all came up and then kind of did a little bit of a dip back. All of them. See all of them doing that. See, they all came up and then have this little curl hook. All these are following similar. The only one that's not is LLM because it's a newer kind of hot coin right now, but it's doing really well. See, I do like Max. We'll take a look at it and keep watching it and check out a few other ones. Let me answer some more questions here. What about DeFi Tuna? You currently? I'm not. I closed out my DeFi Tuna pool earlier today. I mean, I'm still using it. I use it almost every day. I just not currently. I don't currently have an active pool. Excuse me. Still got a little bit of lingering sinus stuff. It's not nearly as bad, but the yeah, I mean, it's doing really, really well. I know that some people, like I saw someone post about Sol Pingu and they were doing really well with it. One thing I've been doing, they have 5x leverage now. And so I've been enjoying it. So you like what you could do, like basically this is what I've been doing. I've been like using it as a way to earn fees, but also to kind of like do like a semi long or short and stuff on Sol. So you can see here on the MACD for Sol, like it's coming up, but it looks like it's about to reverse and come back down. And so now as far like how far it's going to do that, I'm not too sure. I'll go to like the 15-minute on Solana and you can see the MACD is showing it still slightly moving up, but like definitely slowing down. And so I think like if you look at it in general, you can see on the 0 line on this MACD that these lines are still like well below the 0 line. As they move up closer to it, it's more likely that it continues more sideways up here. And so we'll see if it dips back down a little bit more or if it ends up coming back up. But what I'll do is I'll look and kind of determine what I think Solana is doing. Like it doesn't look like it's set up right now to like if you go to the 1 hour chart here, it's still kind of trending down, but it looks like it's starting to slow. I think we'll see a little bit of sideways action before we see Sol come back up. And so in this case, like I may not even open a pool, but if I do, I'm going to have it be like probably slightly long, like probably like 187 and then like much higher on this end, like all the way up to like 200 or 202. And then that would mean that I would need to be at around 75% on the bar ratio where I'm kind of longing Sol. So basically like I have a tiny bit of downside here, but most of it's on the upside. I have 5x leverage. And then you can see here, like I would get liquidated at 181, but I'm going to set up a limit on my range bounds here. So that doesn't happen, right? So once it hits this 187, I would just go out. Now, obviously like this, I'll earn fees as it moves between these. But basically I would set this up because if you can see here, like the low on all these, it is like there's a support here that it hit, which is right around the 185 range. And so if I wanted to, I could set it up like that. I could put it like near the 185-ish mark. But I would, if I'm setting this up like this, I'm kind of betting that it's not really going to come down a whole lot. And if it does, I'm not going to lose a whole lot anyway, because there's not a lot on the downside here if I end up closing it out. But basically the idea would be to sit in this as long as possible while earning fees. But eventually sell it once it's like most of the way up or even all the way up to 202, because we're setting this up as a slight long. The curve on this is pretty interesting. Like the guy one of the founders had showed me, like basically the way that the curve works on this is it kind of looks like this. So from the point at which you enter towards the edges, whenever you take out a loan, it kind of looks like this. So like it kind of would do like this. Actually, if you had it flat, it would look like this. And so when you stay near the middle, you earn the most. When it's near the edges, you earn the least, right? As far as like, or not earn, sorry, your yield is the same throughout, but the value of your TVL is lower near the edges and it's much higher near the center. But whenever you do a slight long like this, then what ends up happening is it actually looks like this. And so like it's actually pretty similar at the center as it is near the edges. Now this isn't exact, but it's something like this. And so picking a directional bias while using DeFi Tuna is really important because it allows you, like if you get it correct, obviously, then you'll benefit from it much more. And so this is how I'd set it up. I'll probably I literally have 10 SOL right here. I'll go ahead and do this. I think, let me see. I'm not going to set it up yet. I want to watch SOL a little bit more. Let me go back down to the 5-minute chart. I do think that it's going to sit a little more like sideways first. And so I want to wait to see what it's going to do before I open one up. So I'm going to wait. I don't need to rush into it. So we're not going to get into that right now, but that's what that looks like. I'm in Smelt. 105 is printing hard. Awesome. Glad to hear it, man. What about DeFi Tuna? Are you currently did that on Deck Screener? XLLM Sol. You keep talking about it. Did I not look at the right one? The one that I literally looked at for XLLM Sol was it's the exact same CA that you posted, Surya. Yeah. And this is a rug. This is not a real chart. There's nothing real about this. If you can post the CA, I'll take a look at it, but that's wild. I'm really liking Buzz ranging. Yeah, Buzz is good as well. Let's see where it's at. I'm surprised it's not higher on the 5-minute. I think when I clicked 1 hour, it was, yeah, there it is. It's much higher on the 1 hour. But yeah, Buzz has been doing well. Buzz like came up pretty good compared to the rest of them. Like it came from 60, 68 all the way up to like, yeah, almost 100. So this one bounced back like really hard after the dip, but it's been ranging well. It's ranged between like the 67, 68 all the way up to like 135. But most of it's been around like just over 100 all the way down to like 115 all the way down to 66. And the volume on it is good. It's doing really good volume. So Buzz could be a really good one as well. Like I said, I'm just so split between everything. My kind of mid-cap coin that I'm on right now, which LLM is starting to become a higher cap, but it's one. And then as well as Butthole is one as well. That's kind of a mid cap around the 40 something. I think we see this one go much higher also, but Buzz very likely to keep doing well. It's just not one that I'm in right now. I'm really, can you go over one-sided on the way up? Yeah, for sure. So basically I have this set up right now. I have 2 pools on ARK. I have one-sided on the way up and one on the way down. So what happened is when ARK was pretty high and I saw the market dipping, I set up a hybrid spot / bid-ask strategy, which means I set up Solana. And let's say I put in 50 SOL. I think that's around what it was. I don't remember exactly. But what I did was I opened up a spot position with half, so like 25 SOL. And then I added to that position the same way that I could do right now. I could add to this right now. And I did it in a bid ask. And you can see like as you change it, it'll actually create this like hybrid position to where it's not quite one or the other. And so like a normal bid ask would be like very, very low here and much higher here. And a spot would be even the whole way across. So we set up kind of this hybrid strategy, which has been doing really, really well for us. Then once ARK kind of bottomed out, I went ahead and said, like, I think it's going to come back up. So instead of closing out of this pool, I actually wanted to continue to earn fees around this area. I was like, I'm just going to buy some more. I wanted to get in more. So I bought more and I created a hybrid strategy on the way up, slightly more bid ask than spot. As you can see, like this is a more drastic increase, like much less to much more here than I had set up my two-sided. Then I had set up my one-sided on the way down. You can see it's closer to spot than it is to bid ask. And so set up a hybrid like this. And so right now I'm earning like 2.78% a day. But as this moves up into the middle and higher range, this will end up jumping up much, much higher. And so basically when you set it up on the way up, all you're doing is you go to add position, you enter however many tokens you're putting in, and then you can set it up like this. I don't think I have enough tokens for it to do it, but essentially it would just look like this. And then you add it in, and that's how you set up a one-sided pool. Poppy Churro said, thoughts on Swarm versus ARC, looking to one side DCA something. You're looking to DCA into it, Poppy. If you're looking to DCA into it, Swarms is probably not the best. Swarms is down much more than ARC is. Like ARC, if you DCA'd into it, would be like maybe you would only dip a little bit more, as long as the market stays steady and doesn't just like die off. But I could see like a lot of these coming down a little bit, but not a ton. I could see it come down more on ARC than it could on Swarms, because I think that Swarms is already down a pretty good amount. And so either one of them you could do. I personally just like ARC better. I mean, I'm in both of them, but ARC has just been a much more consistent cook over the last weeks, like just weeks, almost a month now. Do you have any specific way to determine how many positions you can be in? No, it depends on what's doing well. I try to diversify and be in at least 3 positions, but like this morning, I wanted to get into a few different ones because there's so many that are doing well and on the bounce back. And I don't want to miss out on like one of them that actually absolutely rips. And so I like to kind of spread it out a little bit, depending on the market cap and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm kind of spread out between all of them to be able to kind of capture, because usually there's like 1 or 2 that moves way more than the others, even though they're all kind of on the comeback. Some of the other ones are a little more delayed. And so this is what I'm doing, but I don't ever want to be in like 8 or 9 or 10 positions. Like usually the most you'll see here is like 5 or 6 at one time. But the ideal amount is really, for me, I like to be in like 2 or 3. If you have a lower amount of capital to work with, then like I would say 2 or 3 is your max. I wouldn't be in more than that. 2 is probably what you'll see most of the time. Like my other wallet's much smaller, and I have 3 pools open right now. I say much smaller. It's still a good size. But if you're working with like less than $10,000, I would say you probably only need to be in 2 positions most of the time. Sometimes 3 if they end up looking good. LLM is busted. LLM to 1 billion. Yeah, I mean, hey, it'd be cool. I would love that. I have it set up on a pretty good range right now to earn. So, sorry, what is your current positions and platforms? I just showed that. I'm not currently in Hawkfi, and I'm not currently in DeFi Tuna. I mean, those are like DeFi Tuna is great. Hawkfi is great. I'm just not in them all the time. Like I still use both of them, but usually those, when I'm in those, like I end up only being in them like overnight or over the weekend. Or on DeFi Tuna, I'll do it during the day more, but not as much. They're both great products. Like I like both of them, but right now while I'm actively trading, you'll see me on here much more. I also have a Sol Decoder bot that's running on a separate wallet, and I have it running 24/7. How did you get access to the Ultra LP? They had reached out to me because they saw that I did a bunch of DLMM stuff. And they basically were like, hey, would you test this out and be able to give us feedback? And I said, yeah. And obviously I really like it. If I didn't like it, I wouldn't even show it on stream because I wouldn't want people to think that I liked it. But obviously I do. I mean, you're literally able to see your live P&L, which you can't really do anywhere else. And so that's really nice. But that's how I got access. You can sign up for it. He also said that he's going to be giving me some giveaway codes to be able to give out to y'all, and to some of my NFT matey holders as well. So USDT is at a 15% borrow APY. USDC is 28%. Isn't it better regarding fees to have a sole USDT pool? Yeah, it probably is, Baz. The thing to consider when you're looking at that is how much capital is available and how much, what do the yields look like? So like Sol USDC is going to earn a little bit more than Sol USDT. And so if these are close in borrow APY, then USDC would always be the better one to do. But you can see here, like the amount supplied is 165K and the amount borrowed is only 16K. And so there's 150 roughly thousand available. And so, but on USDC, there's 800 borrowed and 1,400 supplied. So there's 600, right? So let's say I was like, yeah, USDT is better. And then like a few of y'all get on it, I get on it. We would use up this 150K like this. And then this borrow APY would shoot up to like 40 or 50%. We would like max this thing out. So yes, it is better, but you just have to be careful because if you get into this and you're using like, let's say you do a 5X leverage with like $5,000. Well, now you've used up 25%. This borrow APY will go up like a little bit and it may feel good, but somebody else can come in and use the rest of it up. And if they do, all of a sudden your borrow APY shoots up. So there's a lot more room for to use USDC here. But yeah, currently, especially if you're using small amounts of money, USDT is probably better. You can see like right here, it says 0.04 on Sol USDC, and on USDT, it says 0.02. It doesn't earn half. It actually earns like probably about 75% as much as Sol USDC. Maybe it's closer to half, but it still does really well. I've done Sol USDT before for this exact reason. They did say that they're working like pretty soon. We'll start to see over the next few weeks. They're going to have some like APY, like calculator type stuff. They're going to have some more advanced charts to actually show you based on how you set it up, your potential profit and loss, depending on what like Sol does. So there's going to be some really cool tools that DeFi Tuna is coming out with that I'm really excited to see. MLG and Y2K. Yeah, MLG is doing great. I haven't looked at Y2K. When you have a chance, would love to go over the bot a bit more and what's been working and not working. Yeah, for sure. I can talk about that. So Sol Decoder bot, if you don't know, this is an automated bot that DLMs for you, but you have to set up the parameters. So it's not just like this automatic easy thing. They have presets for you that you can choose. I did a custom preset, and I'm getting kind of this like mid to larger kind of like mid-risk play. And so you can see here, I have about 40 Sol loaded into the wallet. I'm using 80% of that here. I have it set up on a one-sided bid ask, which you can see it says safest. I've thought about doing the spot one-sided as well. I like the one-sided strategy. I'm in a stop loss of 15 and a take profit of 12. I have a slightly higher stop loss because sometimes I want to give it more time as it comes down to work its way back up. As we could see with many of the pools we were just looking at from the dip yesterday, many of them dipped 30 or 40%. So, yeah, so we have that set up. 6 hours is the longest it would keep an open position. And then the range, I have the minimum market cap at 16 mil and the max at 250 mil. So that's kind of the range of that you have to choose. And the token's got to be live for at least 12 hours. I have this set to where I want it to catch tokens that have come down a little bit. And the reason why I do this is because I want them to kind of be coming down off into like a mid-range area. But I also have it to where the 5 minute could have gone up 10% and the 1 hour could go up 20%. So basically we're catching stuff that's potentially done decently well, but is now in a slight downtrend, which is good because then we would set it up in a bid-ask strategy to be able to catch it on the way down. And so that's why we do that. We have the volume at like 500K for 500K for the 1 hour and 1 million for the 24 hour as a minimum. I actually like it to be slightly higher than this, but I don't want to remove too many token options for the pool. And then outside of that, max pool is 10. I do the 80, 100, 125 bin, and then I do it on a medium step size. So it's a little bit more aggressive. Even though we're doing the one-sided bid ask, it's a little more aggressive by doing medium here. And so the wide is basically just the default. So whatever the default range is for these, medium is going to reduce that by roughly 25%, and narrow is going to reduce it by roughly 50% of what its default is. And then I have it on the upper side to where if it's been up in the upper side green for more than 30 minutes, it'll just close it and take the profit. Whereas on the lower side, I don't have that checked because I want it to sit on the lower side longer. And then I display everything in USD. That's it. That's my settings right now. You could also find these. Should be very similar. I might have made some few adjustments in the education channel in our Discord. Do you recommend leaving positions open but withdrawing the liquidity if the token ranges past it in case you want to get back into those ranges later? It depends, Jackson. You could do that. You could also just set up like a new position. So it just kind of depends. I don't necessarily say I would recommend it, but it is an option for something if you think that makes sense. Obviously, like I've said before, like everything I do here, I like everything that I talk about, I do for education and entertainment purposes only. And so I cannot tell you what a coin's going to do exactly. If I knew exactly what everything was going to do, I would be a multi-millionaire by now, right? I can't tell you what to do in your position either, because I don't know where you started the position, how much money you have in it, your risk tolerance. So you have to make that decision for yourself. All I can do is give you my opinions and hopefully help educate in some way so that you can make the best decision possible for you. LLM is going to 1 billion, isn't it? Hey, I hope so. It's looking pretty good right now, but I hope it does. What would be your strat if BTC decided to correct to 70K? I mean, that would be fairly drastic. Let's see where it's at right now. Yeah, it's at 93. I mean, a 70, that's like, honestly, I don't know if we ever see BTC at 70K ever again. Like, that's genuinely how I feel about that. So I don't even know if I have a strategy for that. Like if right now the lowest support on the most recent is around 91, just on like the most recent, and you can see like it kind of tapped down close to that, like 91.5 on BTC a bunch. But you can see once you come back here, after it breaks below 90, kind of 91 area, there's multiple supports along the way down all the way to about 85. From there, there's a decent jump all the way down to, 75, 77, stuff like that. But like there's multiple supports on the way down, as well as this pretty significant one here. And so for it to get all the way down, like if it goes to 70, honestly, it's going to go all the way down to like 65. This is a pretty major support here around 66, 65. But honestly, like I just don't know if we ever see that number again. Like, let's go to the 1 hour here. Actually, no, let's go to the 1 day. Yeah, so November 3rd is whenever we saw it start to break out and come up pretty heavily. See if I can get the chart to load back here. I don't know. Like it would basically take, in my opinion, it would take like a pretty big drawback to get all the way down here. I mean, that's from 94 all the way to 70 is like a 25% drop. And like I said, it wouldn't just come to 70. Like the next support would be 66.5, like right up in there. And so that's like basically a 30% drop from 90, where it is now at 94 down to here. So I don't know. Like I don't see that happening anytime soon. It is possible, but I don't know. Like, I think like we came out of a bear market and we saw, which the chart's not loading, but we saw it much lower than this, right? But as it moved up, it continued to like do really well. And then it's created these like new ranges that it's been in. And so you can see here, like, as long as we're continuing in a fairly strong market, I just don't see it coming back down. I think we end up seeing much higher numbers. After Trump gets in. We have a bunch of pro crypto stuff right now. I think there's just going to be too much good stuff happening in 2025 and 2026 to not see like just things do really, really well. So yeah, that's just my take. It is possible, but my strategy would be if basically, I'll tell you this, if I'm watching this and it breaks below 87, like right up in here, this is the last major support. I'm going to sell everything and stable it. Honestly, like if it broke down below this, because the next stop from this like 86.5-ish area, 87-ish area, all the way down is 67. Like there is no other really major supports along the way. Now, will it kind of fluctuate in between that? Yes. But like right now it's ranging like up here pretty well and has been since like early November. And so I just don't see that happening right now. But if it did, that would be my strat. I'm going to keep holding and doing DLMMing and doing everything that I do. But if for some reason BTC did come down there, Solana would end up coming. Here, let me show you as an example on the 1 day. Like you can see Solana like has done fairly well. So Solana's would be, see, that's 120, 180. Yeah, so for Solana, it would be 179, 180. If it were to dip below this too heavily, 179, 180, I'd probably stable up in the same way because the next stop is 157. So this is a pretty big dip here. And so, yeah, I'd probably do a similar thing around 179, 180. I would stable it up if it dipped below that. Hopefully that makes sense. I talked about a lot of that, though. What's usually your reason for closing a position? Jampree, after some pretty big move ups in positions, when the market looks like it's mostly topping out, I say the market, like that day, whenever it looks like, that day or for the last few days, it's going to be topping out. So if it does the opposite of what it did here, then you would want to close it out, right? So like it came all the way down to like the 180s after coming up to 223, right? So like here, when it was in the 190, 180 kind of 180 something, 190 range, and it came all the way up, like somewhere between this like 217 and 222, it'd probably be good to close out pools and take profit on them. And then you could set up and get back into those pools later based on what they do. But once you have a pretty significant move up of, 40, 50% on a lot of these meme coins, then it's good to take profits on them. And so I just try to take profit when I can, and then I can always come back into the coins later. But DeFi Tuna audit posted. It's not yet, Abraham, but they did tell me it's going to be coming out pretty soon. It may be within the next week or two. They're just waiting. Like it's done. It's just they're waiting for all the documents and stuff to get put together. It's a good audit. I'll just say that. I've talked to them about it. There's some good information. If you want to wait till they come out with it, I completely understand. So the minimum is $600 to get one bot. Yeah, you need one Mateys NFT and one Sol decoder. The Sol decoder is around 3 Sol. So yeah, I mean around $650, $700 to get it. Just so you know, like most bots that you would get that do trading and stuff like that are thousands of dollars. Like if you were to go look right now and like for some sort of bot that would trade on stocks or in crypto or anything, they're thousands of dollars. So this is actually pretty cheap in comparison. How has the performance been over the past 24 hours or so? It's actually done really, really well. I've gone up in value. So initially I started with 40 Sol. I tested out a bunch of different strategies, degen strategies, a bunch of different stuff. Went down to about 35 Sol from 40. Actually, initially I went up to 43. Then I came down to 35. And then once I like tuned it in and I found the strategy that I wanted, I've been sitting around 40 Sol for a while. But I came up from 35 to 40 Sol. Most of what happened in the last few days. In that case, and it looks like it's continuing to grow. So it doesn't have a pool right now. It's trying to find one. So it's been searching. It's been searching for a pool. I'm gonna go ahead and just update this. Run it again. Bro, what about XLM? Like, are y'all a bunch of scammers just going on here trying to like shill a terrible token? Yeah, don't go to that token. Y'all give me 1 second here. All right. Well, let's see. Yeah, dude, these people shilling. I need to. I'm gonna just ban people that do that. So this won't let them be able to come back and comment on my stuff. Tone Vase thinks we see 70 to 80 BTC. What does FWIW mean? On TradingView, you can zoom out to 2015. I can see 66 again. But with MicroStrategy on ETS, BlackRock, I don't think we see the same massive dips we saw in the past. Okay, thoughts on Solo? It looks like it may have an edge. Yeah, Solo looks pretty good. I've noticed that. Let me see. I'm not doing as long of a stream today, so I'm not going to be on for too much longer. I'm probably going to, just so y'all know, I'm probably going to end up shifting to 2 streams a week. And the reason why is because I haven't had as much time to create video content and stuff. Solo volume's a little low right now, so I wouldn't DLMM it for what it's worth. Got it. Thank y'all. Totally agree with previous guy. The sketchy, too sketchy. The APYs on DeFi Tuna wait for audit. Spontaneous trigger. There's nothing sketchy about the APYs. They're pretty like straightforward and direct. And so you can see here that like there's borrow APYs that you can get in supplies. And so these are pretty straightforward because people are just, you're earning based on what people are lending. Like this is pretty straightforward. That's like a normal lending. And then on the trade side, like you can just, the reason you're earning more is because you're leveraging. And so like, it's pretty simple math. You can look at a Sol USDC pool and you can run it. And then you can come here and run one at 3x and you'll see that you earn 3 times. If you set the range the same, you'll see that you earn 3 times as much as the normal Sol USDC pool. So there's nothing like sketchy going on with it. It's just set up. It's pretty simple math as far as how it works. The main thing that people are waiting on for the audit is security. People create software like this. There's smart contracts. People want to make sure there's not back holes. There's not any errors or anything in it that could cause there to be leaks or people to hack into it or for people to lose their money. And so that's the biggest thing for the audit. But as far as the APYs, like this is just very simple math. It's not sketchy at all. It works the way that it does. Just no one's created this tool before like this. Yeah, Jackson, derivatives usually don't do as well. Solana Shepherd, hey, thank you for the great content. Any opinion with CatG, the token in the product? Let's take a look. I looked at CatG before. I think I might have traded it or done some. Oh, geez. I accidentally entered full screen mode. Volume on it looks decent. It's not quite as high as I would like, especially for a 24 million market cap coin. I'd like it to be a little bit higher, but it's not too bad. I think overall, like the chart looks pretty good, and it's done pretty good. I honestly don't know enough about it. Let's check out the Twitter. I'll tell you what I think. Oh yeah, I remember seeing this. It's an AI-powered DEX trading platform. Yes, I mean like it could do really, really well. Like if the trading platform does well, I haven't looked into it enough, but it does seem like it could do pretty good. And so it's got tons of engagement and stuff. So it's got enough popularity, enough like attention and stuff on it. It's got yeah, and so like obviously the chart looks pretty good on it as well. It does good volume. It's been ranging really well between 38 mil and 20 mil ish, all the way down to like 18, 14. And it's got good volatility. So, I mean, this could be a good one to DLMM. I think it's got like a decent product on its hands. I remember looking at this a little bit, but it's hard to fully know. I mean, this could be one that's like at 50 or 80 mil or something in a few days, you know, like Max was. We saw Max like down here and then it just absolutely launched. It sat around for a while, had like okay volume, but wasn't crazy, and then picked up, and now it's done really well. I didn't cover MLG. I'm not going to go to it just now, but I think it's going to do well. We know days and hours for the stream. So once I get my new updated schedule, I'll tell you, Cast. I have some IRL meetings and stuff that I do that are moving as well. So I'm going to have to adjust based on that. I probably won't do Thursdays. It'll be a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. I'll do 2 days out of the week for streams. That'll be on Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesdays. And then this will allow me to, on the day that I'm not streaming, it'll allow me to create more videos and content, both on YouTube and on Twitter, just like straight up like educational videos. Cause like people can learn on here, but like not everyone's able to be on and watch consistently. And these streams last like an hour or 2 hours sometimes. So to go through this and try to learn something can be a little more difficult. So in the same way that I created like the different guides with the videos for Meteora, for DeFi Tuna, different stuff like that, I want to be able to do that more often for different things, right? Like covering impermanent loss, covering like DeFi Tuna and how the ranges work and what it means to leverage and things like that. Different pulls on Meteora, one-sided versus two-sided, spot versus bid ask, doing a 20 bin strategy or doing, higher bin strategies, like what all that means. And I can only like repeat it and talk about it so much on stream. And so I think having it in a nice like video format would be really nice. How to get whitelist for the Yuzu.game. So that's the X Combinator. If you own 1 million of the X token, then right now it's cheaper than it's ever been. Or not that it's ever been, but that it's been recently. It's actually moving up. It was at 5.5 mil. Now it's at 5.9. Earning 200% APR here. This has dipped as low as 150 and gone up as high as 600, but usually sits around 250 to 300, which is like 0.75 to 0.8% a day, which is really, really good. Obviously, the value of going up and down affects it. But if you own that, 1 million of this, which we own more than that. Why doesn't it say my holdings? Let me refresh it. Yeah, it's not showing it for some reason. It's glitched. But we own enough that we get access to all of the early alpha stuff, all of the whitelist on the Yuzu AI, the browser, all these different ones that they'll launch on here, which I think will do well. Ultimately, I'm in the X token as my main form because as these other coins launch and this becomes more popular, which I think it will, the volume on those is going to, the revenue, on those will roll back into the X token. So video content is awesome as you can do that. That will help people. Yeah, for sure. I also want to bring on more people. So like I'm bringing on, we brought on the professor for Soul Decoders. And then we're also going to be bringing on the founder of DeFi Tuna next week, I think it is. Let me double check. I think on Monday. Yeah, Monday. He's going to be coming on to talk about DeFi Tuna. We'll ask some questions. So I want to do more interviews and stuff like that with founders of people that are in DeFi. I want to bring in other people that are DLMMing and stuff like that to be able to talk to them. So I want to just be a place to like for all things DeFi, people to be able to come and learn. But yeah, right now we're up to 450 people watching. So thank y'all so much for being here. Right now I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but that stream schedule will be changing. I'll post it on my Twitter so that you know it's in my Twitter bio right now. And then I'll adjust that. We'll be streaming 2 times a week. So that way we can put out more educational content. I'll also want to start doing some more things in my Discord directly. And so we'll be doing that a lot more as well. When opening a one side and you click the reset price button, the entry point resets. Any reason this happens? An entry difference with entry point being centered and entry point on right. Yeah, it's because when you enter the pool, it's showing you the current price that you entered at. And if the price moves too much while you're waiting to enter, then it'll put you in below or above where you actually should be entering at. So if you just refresh it, it'll reset it back to where its current entry point is instead of it adjusting based on when you entered into that pool. What do you rely on more, RSI or MACD? MACD for sure. On DeFi Tuna, to have logical setup first, set your collateral, then your leverage, and then first adjust your range, how you think price will go, and then set your bar. Yeah, I agree. That's a good order. How are you getting on with X monetization? I think it takes consistency to get genuine impressions. So many bots, good crypto cash flow if you can monetize. Yeah, so I'm still a little ways away. Look, I can show you. I need to get to 5 million on the 3-month. And currently I am not at that. I think I'm at like over 1 million. No, not monetization. It's just going to tell me that I'm not there. Hold on. Premium analytics. There we go. So you can see on a 3-month period, I have 1.1 million impressions for 3 months. And you can see like I have different spikes that have done really well. This is when I was talking about the Magic Eden token and I did some guides there and I got like 93 to 95K. I've had multiple that have done really, really well. This is why I want to be able to create more. Like when I can create threads and guides and videos, this actually increases a lot, which is part of why I want to do that. And so it's really hard to get monetized on X. So it's a long-term journey. It's not just going to happen. Like, I don't think it'll happen on this 3-month cycle. If it does, it'd be from December 9th here. And so that would put me January 9th, February 9th. So March 9th would be my goal for trying to get monetized sometime between now and then. So we'll have to see how it works, but I'm still on that journey. I think it'd be great because the reason I want to monetize isn't just to be like, oh, I have more money, but I want to be able to have multiple streams of revenue, and I want to be able to give away, do free education and content and stuff like that, because that way y'all aren't having to pay me. I'm not like extracting anything from people to be able to earn money. It's like I can keep doing my thing, keep educating people, and then I'm able to earn for free essentially just by people following and engaging, which I think is really, really cool. So that's the goal. Would you mind trying not to do a live at the same time as the Jute Planetary call on Wednesdays, please? I don't want to miss either. Yeah, I mean, I might end up just doing them on like Mondays and Tuesdays of every week. We'll have to see. Do you ever have any overnight positions? Yeah, it's a great question. I do. I ran ARC overnight all the time. And I ran Swarms and Fartcoin overnight as well. Not Swarms. I ran ARC, Fartcoin, and Butthole overnight. And then Swarms I set up this morning, and LLM I also set up this morning. Both have been doing really, really well. All right, cool. Hey, I think that's it. I'm going to go ahead and hop off. It's been a little over an hour since we've been on the stream. It's been really, really solid. Thank y'all so much for being here. If y'all have any more questions, want to be more involved, please join the Discord. Also, if you haven't already, I use Good Morning, Good Night. Good Morning, Good Night is amazing because if you've seen me on my streams before, Jupiter is very, very slow in comparison. And so it allows me to be able to upload. In the top right, I have my my DLMM wallet. So the wallet that's connected right here. I have it connected to Good Morning, Good Night, which is really, really cool because that means I can go over here to the trade bot. I can buy like, 1 SOL worth of Cat G, for instance. I could buy it, and then immediately I can come over here and add it into my pool. Super fast and easy. If you use my Good Morning, Good Night referral code, I get a kickback whenever you do the trades. I really appreciate if you're going to use it, not that you need to use it, but you may like another tool better, and that's perfectly fine. But if you use it, I prefer if y'all would use my code. That'd be great. It would help me out tremendously. And so I do personally use Good Morning, Good Night. I love it. I've tried Dex Screener. I've tried Bird Eye. They're all so much slower. I also love all the information that Good Morning, Good Night provides. It's not perfect, but I do really like it and think it works really, really well. I'm going to continue to watch a few of these like Cat G, Max, but I'm still going to continue to DLMM, the LLM and Graphane, Swarms, Butthole, ARC, and Fartcoin. I think these are all really, really good long-term holds. I'm happy to hold these for longer. I think we see the market stabilize a little bit here. And then as it does and it moves sideways, I'm going to look for it to potentially start to move back up. And then I'll probably set up something like on DeFi Tuna with a slight long, but look to earn off of the Sol USDC from there. So that's the gist of it. Thank y'all so much for coming out and watching again, as always. I will see y'all streaming next week. And then I'll be putting out some more videos, threads, different stuff like that. And I'll be in the Discord as well, chatting with people. So if you want to come and learn more, you can do that any day, anytime. There's tons of great people in there. Thank y'all so much. And yeah, Crypto Trini, I put them in my Discord, which you can join. Here, let me type that in here. This is my Discord. You can join it. If you're on Twitter, it's in my location, but I'll go ahead and just put it here too. That way, I talk about all the different positions I'm in. I do like token analysis on certain coins, all that kind of good stuff. So come check us out in there. Thank y'all so much again. I'm going to go ahead and hop off now, and I hope